Hello, I'm Maggie Sarfo. I'm a business and personal growth consultant. I'm the CEO of Mary's Consult Limited, based in the City of London. I also lead a group of women execs and entrepreneurs in the City of London who like to network on a monthly basis. Most of the time, we're currently doing this virtually. But I am so excited to be a part of this She Has No Limits crew, and I want to say a huge thank you to the organisers of this conference. So today I'd like to take this opportunity and contribute to the conference by sharing with you some tips that I know would go a long way to support you to become your best, especially through this time as you keep looking for opportunities that will be suitable for what you're looking for, whether this is career search, whether this is transitioning into entrepreneurship or any other transition phase that you feel called to as a result of what's happening in the world at the moment. So I will talk about purpose, I'll talk about self-leadership, and I will also talk about networking. And this is to support your career searching opportunities and hopefully to provide you with some inspiration and to move forward in confidence. So let's start with purpose, shall we? So what is purpose? From my perspective, purpose is who we are. Purpose is what makes us alive, what makes us excited about life. And I think during these times, it's really important for us to find some time to reconnect back to who we are, because that is where your biggest strength is going to come from. Purpose is us being passionate about why we do what we do. And the more we can answer those questions about who we are and why we do what we do, I think is going to go a long way to support us as we go through this period. And again, whether this is to support your career search or to support your transition into any other form of engagement. So moving on from purpose, I wanted to then look at self-leadership and how this is connected to your purpose. Because as I said before, as we start to know who we are, why we're passionate about the sort of things that we're passionate about, it then leads us to be very confident in taking that step forward. And that means that we are taking leadership for the next phase of our lives. Now, what does that look like? It means that you're taking a leading role. Maybe previously we have been in a situation where we didn't necessarily take a bold step towards what we're looking for. Now, this time around, I want to encourage you to take full and complete self-leadership for this next step in your career. And that means that you are also being clear about your vision for yourself and your vision for your career. Being clear about this vision then enables you to then connect this to the wider area. So you're looking at this from the perspective of, should you be able to go for this big vision that you have for yourself and for your next phase career, what does that mean for other people? How is this purpose and this self-leadership step that you've taken, how is that connected to what you're going to achieve, where you see yourself? But also, more importantly, how is that connected to the people that are around you? So, for instance, your loved ones, your relationships, your community, maybe your organization, because it does help you really then make sure that your vision for yourself and for your career is bigger than who you are. And what I tend to find is the more our visions are bigger, the more it does encourage us to go for those big roles that sometimes we as women are perhaps guilty of not going for. The bigger your vision, the smaller those other obstacles that we see as standing in our way of success from the perspective of going for those bigger roles become. And so those those obstacles become smaller because our vision is bigger than that, and then we are able to go for those bigger roles with all the results, the rewards that come with it, or to ask for what we want. So for instance, you are a mother. Again, when your vision is bigger, you are able to boldly ask for the conditions attached for the role that you're going for, and say, I know I can do this, but these are the conditions that are non-negotiable for me. Again, having a big, bold vision and taking that self-leadership step will really support you in making those bold decisions, and eloquently, saying this during your interviews as well, if that's the route you've taken. And finally, I want to encourage you to take some next steps. And for me, those next steps are going to be networking, because networking is a great part of the success plan for us in terms of the next phase of our careers or our journeys. And I say that because I have personally witnessed the impact that networking has had on my own life, on my own career. I spent about 18 years in the corporate world doing business consulting, sales and sales leadership. And I transitioned about 4 years ago to set up my own consulting business. But also, in addition to that, recognizing the impact of networking, I lead a women execs and a professionals group in the City of London. And this networking group is made up of women execs and entrepreneurs, as well as professionals who are looking to network effectively, both for personal development as well as business development and career advancement. So why do I think networking is a big step for you? I think at the moment, with everything that is going on, you might look at networking and you might think that it's not a good route as a good next step for you. But it is, because we have opportunities to have a range of virtual networking platforms available to us. I was invited to a couple of platforms recently that I had never heard of. They came from the US, but actually we do have a very big community here in the UK. And someone invited me to it, and I joined, and as a result of that, I'm actually meeting people on a weekly basis. I get to choose how many people I want to meet. I get to choose their criteria, and I get to match my needs to theirs as well. So I think networking, is a great next step for you to explore. What you might also want to look at is if any of the usual in-person networking events that you used to attend, if some of them have transitioned to virtual events, then that would be a very good thing for you to explore and go and network with them as well. It makes you feel less isolated, but it also, you just never ever know. There was a lady in one of my networks who got made redundant at the end of July, and within 2 weeks, just through networking, she met another lady who she had never met, but she had decided that she was moving from the tech world back to the education sector, and this lady happened to be in the education sector. And then within a very short period of time, where we now in end of August, but she literally got a new role to move into within 2 to 3 weeks. So do not underestimate networking, whether this is virtual or in person, when it becomes possible for us to do so. And then finally, I also want you to never underestimate the power of your own contacts. And this is again part of your networking. Sometimes we think about networking and we forget that, sitting down and brainstorming or going through your contacts, your phone contacts, your social media contacts, and listing the type of people that you'd like to reconnect with is not that important, but it is very crucial. So that's where I'm going to end it. Just look at this from a perspective of your own purpose. Take self-leadership seriously and go networking. And I want to take this opportunity to wish you a fabulous transitioning time. And I would love for you to connect with me on LinkedIn, and I'm there as Maggie Sarfo. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.